What's up, everyone? Champions back again for another UFC predictions video. This time for UFC Fight Night Vegas. Steve Garcia versus David Onama. Not necessarily the most fancy names on the card, but if you look at these fights, fight to fight to fight, this is a banger. There's so many really good fights on this card, and I can't wait to break it down. Maybe not necessarily my favorite betting card in the world, and I'll get into all that stuff, but absolutely, it's gonna be such a fun night, so I'm very excited for it. But first, as always, we go over what happened last time. And what happened last time, I got rinsed. I got smoked bad. Very, very sadly on UFC 321. So we'll go through one on one. Honestly, I'm not. There's two bets I made on this card that were really bad, and they just so happened to be pretty much my biggest spots on the card. So, like, that sucks. But I lost on like a good amount of underdogs that I'm just like, I'm not necessarily like the most mad at taking the shots on. But let's get into it. The first fight, Amarim, Jacqueline Amarim. I had her in parlays, in like 2 parlays. I can live. They would both of those parlays would have lost anyways, so it's not the end of the world. Wow. I mean, shout out to Mizuki. She looked really good. I didn't think she'd be able to really defend the wrestling as well as she did, and I thought like Amarim would be able to get sweeps even if like Mizuki's able to keep safe. But I mean, props to Mizuki. Fought a very smart fight, and I mean, kind of exposed Amarim and like brought her back to like the Sampage fight. And like the cardio was a big issue. I thought she had that fixed. I'm gonna have to consider that more than I had in the past. So yeah, and like I think the worst thing that happened was Amarim falling off top in round 1. I think maybe she's gonna be more cautious about that in the future. I still think Amarim is the truth in this division, not necessarily like be champion or anything like that, but like be a pretty good fighter. But it is what it is. She didn't look good. My second biggest bet of the card, or no, my biggest bet of the card, I should say, was Azat Maxim to beat Mitch Raposo. I was wrong in terms of I thought Mitch Raposo's best chance was like bonking him with a combination on the feet, like boxing. He didn't need to bonk him. He absolutely outworked him on the feet, and it hurts me. It hurts me to do this because I love Mitch Raposo. I love Mitch Raposo, and I've been like with him, not with him. I shouldn't say that. That's not a way of putting it. But I've liked him ever since that Ultimate Fighter season with Volkanovski and Ortega when he's on Team Volkanovski. I always thought he was like pretty all right. But I thought Azat had him covered. I think the weight cut he had, where he missed weight, played a factor. I didn't like seeing the weight cut, like the weight miss. But Azat couldn't really do much. He couldn't do any damage. He got takedowns, sure, but he didn't really do much with it. So I mean, I thought he'd be able to maybe get takedowns and like hold position better. But man, props to Mitch Raposo. He fought a great, smart fight. It is what it is. I lost money on that. And I'll live. That's what I get for going against Mitch Raposo. Even if I didn't make those bets, I would not have done well on the card anyways. Although it wouldn't have been as bad, but that's besides the point. The next fight I had a bet on, I believe, is probably Mateusz Ronbetsky. Mateusz Ronbetsky to win against Ludovic Klein. This is one of those bets where it's like I have no shame in betting him. I'd even bet some of these dogs I bet on that I have no shame in betting at all. They weren't even that big of bets, to be honest, and like I think they were fair. I thought that fight should have been a draw, and I felt good about my analysis that like Ronbetsky's very live to drown him late, and he was very, very close to doing so. Ludwig Klein's leg was destroyed. He couldn't get up, and he was just getting elbowed over and over and over. I mean, props to Klein for surviving. I don't know how judges gave round 2 a 10-8, to be honest. I mean, I know he was pinging Ronbetsky pretty bad, but didn't knock him down at once, and Ronbetsky kept coming forward. He's still landing a little bit. Obviously, clear Klein round, but doesn't mean it's 10-8. I think Ronbetsky kind of got robbed of at least a draw. But man, Ronbetsky comes and fights for your money, and I respect that. So shout out to Ronbetsky. Next fight I had a bet on Jun Young Park to beat Ikram Aliskerov. I didn't hate this bet either. I thought he pushed Ikram to the limit. I felt like And Ikram was really feeling it. He was really feeling it. He was really tired. I mean, I can't be mad at what I thought was a very possible outcome where Jung Young Park could possibly even finish Ikram late, if not win a decision. Although I thought, like, I'd rather him try and finish because in the Abu Dhabi, you don't want to trust those judges. But yeah, I mean, props to Ikram. He did what he had to do. He implemented the wrestling. It was 8, and the wrestling was enough of a time for him to get a break of Jung Young Park going ham on him to where he could just make it out and win. So, I mean, props to Ikram. I was not mad at the bet by any means. The next fight I had a bet on was, which one was it? Is it? Oh my god, I skipped the fight. Hamdi Abdulwahab versus Chris Barnett. I had like very small bets on Hamdi to win in under 1.5 and in round 1. No shame in those at all either, because he honestly should have got him out of there that quickly, but he didn't. And I'm also happy that I played the under 1.5 and not just fight doesn't go, because after that under 1.5 point, he was never going to finish Chris Barnett. He was kind of done and just throwing nothing punches. So, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, and I think he's cut. So you suck. I hate to see it, but yeah, I'm not mad at those bets, and they were very small as well. So, I wouldn't mind betting that again. The next fight I had to bet on, I believe, was over 2.5 rounds for Nasser Akbaras versus Killing Salkild. I had a parlay with Amarim. It's not the end of the world, so like it would have lost anyways. My God, what a KO by Salkild. Salkild is the truth. I went with Salkild to win the fight, but I was like, I'm not super confident. The short notice scares me, but he's like, this guy's like a super legit prospect. Never my wildest dreams that I thought he would KO Nasrat. I mean, I consider both guys to be super durable, and I do think Nasrat is durable. So that just says a lot to me about like Salkild to be able to do that. His kicks are nasty, and he got to work on his takedown entries and stuff like that. But man, he's super young. I think he could be something pretty legit. So shout out to Salkild. Next fight I had to bet on, I believe, was Alexander Rakic to beat Azamat Mirzakhanov. Oh, it hurts me. It hurts me so much. Rakic was looking incredible. I thought he was looking fantastic in this fight, and he gets bonked from a jab, which is always possible with Azamat. It was like Rakic's going to be winning till he doesn't, and that's exactly what happened. I wish he considered himself better for going for a better takedown attempt, just like doing it out in the open. But it is what it is. I didn't like seeing Rakic kind of quit. Like, no, not kind of. He definitely quit. Where he's like keeping his hands up and it's like he didn't try to wrestle up. He 100% quit, which it's a sad thing to see. He's not as like into it anymore. I do think he's like a super good fighter and you can absolutely get wins still, but yeah, you hate to see it. That was tough to see. Very sad that Rakic didn't come through. But I didn't hate the bet. I wish I probably had a lower bet size on it, but it is what it is. I like the things I saw from Rakic going in, and I don't have shame in that. The next fight I had to bet on was Mario Bautista to beat, or no, actually no, it's Alexander Volkov to beat Jailton. I had a very small bet on Volkov. A very close fight. I thought Volkov won. You can't just lay on top and not do damage and not win fights. Sorry, that's not how it is. I'm very happy Volkov won. Didn't really make much from it, but that's completely okay. Yeah, damage-based scoring. I don't understand how Jailton Almeida has not learned how to elbow from top position. It's 2 or 3 of those he wins this fight clear as day. So shame on him. Learn how to use elbows. You should have learned that since the Derek Lewis fight. Like, there's no excuse. Props to Volkov. He did what he had to do. Cody got something to go his way. Shout out to Volkov. Now, the next fight I had a bet on. Mario Bautista, Umar Nurmagomedov. I know the scorecard said 30-27. I thought 29-28. I thought he hurt Umar pretty bad in round 2. And did the most damage in that round. Should have got it. I don't hate the fact that I bet it at all. I bet it pretty small too. Because I knew it was like very, very possible he wouldn't like. But well, obviously Umar's a really tough fight for anyone, so I don't have any shame in like going for the dog shot because Mario Batista is a super underrated fighter, and I stand by it. I think he's really good. And it showed it. I wish it was a 5-rounder. As a 5-rounder makes things so much more interesting. But yeah, Umar did what he had to do. Got the takedowns necessary. Won with that. But yeah, props to Mario Batista being able to get up and find ways to do damage and stuff like that. But yeah, shout out to Umar. He looked good. The next fight I had a bet on was Mackenzie Dern to beat Verna Jandiroba. Wish I had a little more on this. This is like the one bet besides like Volkov that hit on the card. I mean, it went exactly how I thought it would, where Dern would just be outworking her. Like the cardio dynamic was going to be such a problem for Verna, and absolutely was. Dern also just better striker. Verna's striking is bad. It's bad. I wasn't necessarily like the biggest fan of like Dern's approach, where she would be taken down a bunch, but I mean, it didn't even matter. It's not like Verna was doing anything from there, and even then, Dern was landing the better shots on bottom, while Verna was on top. We should just try not to necessarily do too much. So yeah, Dern's the champion of the world. Kind of disgusting to me because I don't think she's like that great. Please make Jillian Robertson versus Mackenzie Dern. I really want to see something. I really, really, really want to see something. I really want to see Jillian Robertson as champion. Just saying. But yeah, I think Mackenzie Dern is champ. But it is what it is. She made me money. I shouldn't be complaining that much. The last thing I had a bet on, didn't lose any money on it. I had Aspinall to win by sub. Very happy that voided. It was not looking super great, although the one shot that Aspinall took on Gon wasn't like the best shot. Like, I don't think he really overcommitted on it. I think he was trying to get that into Gon's mind. I will talk about that fight where I don't think that fight was as one-sided as like people make it out to be. It's like, oh, clear Gon round. I'm not even sure if that's necessarily the case, because I thought Aspinall was landing some pretty good shots himself. I did say, though, that Aspinall, there's no way in hell he's going to be covering his price tag if this fight stays on the feet. And it stayed on the feet for that. And it's like, there's no way he's covering it. And he absolutely didn't. It sucks still ending. I hope they rebook it because it was a really fun fight before then. I didn't even have much on that sub bet anyway, so it's like, I'll live with that. There'll probably be better lines on the next time they fight, and it's an interesting fight. It's an interesting fight because I said in my breakdown that if this was before the Volkov fight, I would have been on Gon. I 100% would have been, and like I felt like, oh my god, this is the Gon I knew and love. This is the one I knew and love. He's so good, and he is really good. I have to be contemplating that rematch. I feel like I'm gonna go Aspinall again, to be honest, even with that said, but I'm not sure. It was a good fight for as long as it lasted, but bummer ending. Now let's get into the rest of that card really quickly. If I have the topology. Where is it? Here it is. And I did terrible on this card, like, pick-wise as well. Delgado would. I'm happy to stayed away. Honestly, I thought Delgado won this fight. I don't know. I had trouble giving like not 3 rounds, like 2 of the 3 rounds to Wood. It's not like they were like blowaway rounds, except for like round 1 where he dropped Wood. But Delgado is doing really good. I thought landing the better shots, but I mean, whatever. Didn't have any money on it, thank God. Walter Walker, Louis Sutherland. I just can't with this Walter Walker guy. He keeps getting them these heel hooks. I mean, I picked it this time. I did pick it this time, but with shame. I'm not happy about it. I mean, I don't know. It's just, it's so, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. It shouldn't be working, but it keeps working. I'm guessing he's taking the O'Malley strategy. It's like, let me go get a better like new contract, and then I fight up the rankings, and I'm just gonna get heel hooks and get people to care about me in the time being. I'm guessing, which is why he called Hamdi, who's not in the UFC anymore. I still don't think this guy's that good. I still stand on that. Talked about this one. Talked about this one. Talked about this one. Talked about this one. Talked about it. Yep. And so we're ready to get into this card. Talita Alencar versus Ariane Carnelosi. So I'm gonna outright tell you my betting strategy this card, because I don't usually like do this sort of thing, because like sometimes I'm just like super like all over the place with my bettings. Like I like putting some guys like betting a lot, but I kind of was like selling this card because there's not much spots I'm like really crazy about. And it's like there's like a bunch of underdogs. I'm scared to back them at like a high number, but I want to back them. But there's like one fight in particular I'm like really like. This is my favorite read of the card, and it's not this one. It's not this one. Even though I'll run through a wall for one of these leads. I'll talk about that in a second. But I'm gonna be betting like this one fight to make like 1 unit or like a unit and a half. Like I'm considering like one of the two, and go from there, and like have that be my card. I'm gonna make profit no matter what, even if it's like $1 or whatever amount, like at least like a little bit of profit guaranteed if all these other bets don't hit. But if they do hit, hey, it's a great night. You can make even more units. So it's like a little bit more than break even or a great night. So I'm fine with having this card be that way. So yeah, there's one read I like on this card, and I'll really get into that one. But yeah, but this is one of the ones where it's like I'm not super crazy about the spot, but like I'm gonna bet it. I'm gonna be pretty small with it. It's Ariane Carnelosi. I'm gonna go late round finish. I think she's super live to get a late round finish on Talita Alencar. This fight's cinema. This fight is terrible takedown defense in Ariane Carnelosi versus terrible wrestler in Talita Alencar. I think there's a physicality difference with Carnelosi, which does matter. And unlike the girls Carnelosi's been fighting, she should have probably lost this Pira Rodriguez fight. And Loopy, like she's just way more physical than Talita Alencar, who's tiny. She is tiny. Like, not that Pierre and Lupita are necessarily like huge girls, but in comparison, Carnelosi is a lot more physical than Alencar is. That doesn't mean she can't get taken down, and honestly, she probably will in like round 1. But Talita Alencar's cardio is not to be trusted. I don't think she's gonna sub Carnelosi. If she subs Carnelosi, fair play. It'll be early. But if she doesn't sub her, I think she's live to just cardio dump and just be out of it, and Carnelosi's able to get a comeback KO, which I think is kind of very possible to happen. I think it's very possible it's a good live bet to bet Carnelosi. I think that's probably the best way to play it. I think Carnelosi's live. Like, I think she's absolutely able. I mean, she's a much better girl on the feet. Talita Alencar is perhaps a 0 on the feet. She has no threat at all. Carnelosi's gonna be landing the better shots, even though she's not even that great of a striker. So as long as she can get up or not get taken down in the first place, or Alencar gets completely gassed. And it's not like Demopoulos was even trying to get up. She had no get-ups at all for Alencar. So she looked great there, but I don't think it's anything to really go off of and be super confident in. I think Carnelosi's very live to win this. I'm going to have probably a pretty small bet on her. Phil Rowe versus Hyuk Hyunko. Korean Tyson, that's what I'm going to call him. I'm going to go Korean Tyson decision. I'm not ultra confident in this. Phil Rowe's absolutely live to win this fight. And you're going to hear me talk about, like, I'm not super confident like a lot of these fights, I feel like. I think Ko is going to get the wrestling going. I think the range difference is going to make things hard on the feet for Ko. I mean, I know he's Korean Tyson, so maybe you can get a flash KO or something for Phil Rowe, but probably not. Phil Rowe likes to play off his back a bunch. I think Ko can use his Sambo background to get the fight on the ground and work Phil Rowe and keep him there. It is a steep thing because like now he's like a favorite now when he was like a pretty big underdog against Obon Elliott. And I rate Phil Rowe more than I do Obon Elliott. I won't be surprised if Phil Rowe does get a finish. Like, he hits pretty different in this weight class. He's super long as well, so there's that to mention. But I think Ko is a good enough fighter to get the fight on the ground, be able to dart in and get the fight where he needs to. So I'm gonna go Ko, but I'm really not that confident in this. So I'm staying away. Montserrat Canejo Ruiz versus Alice Ardaline. I have something to say about this one. No, I'm not interested in this betting wise. It kind of tells you who I'm picking. I'm gonna go Alice Ardaline. I'll go by decision. I could see a late finish, to be honest. But I've talked a lot of trash about Alice Ardaline. She's like not UFC level. She's terrible. One of the worst fighters in the roster. I gotta give her some credit. She deserves some credit because she has genuinely improved. She's a lot better than she was when she entered in on short notice against Shauna Bannon. Where I bet Shauna Bannon there. I bet Melissa Martinez against her. Those are my bets against her. And I was like, yep, that's okay. Fine with me. And I didn't bet against her with Dos Santos. Like, I made my money off of her. Not like I'm betting her here. The odds are disgusting on Alice Ardaline. You don't want to trust this girl at this kind of chalk. But nonetheless, she has really grown in her game. And I think the boxing has really come a long way. I think she mixes up well. I think she's going to be way too physical for Ruiz. Who, I mean, I think it's going to be similar to the Melissa Martinez fight, except Ruiz doesn't have the striking of Melissa Martinez. Doesn't have the getaway ability of Melissa Martinez. Doesn't have the grappling probably of Melissa Martinez either. She has a head and arm throw against Cheyenne Velismus or Cheyenne Base, whatever you want to call her. Like, she's going to get bullied. She's going to be a bully here. And I think Alice is going to do what she wants here and just kind of beat her up. So I have trouble seeing how she loses this. I mean, I guess you could parlay, but I just wouldn't recommend it. She's not worth parlaying, Alice Ardaline. Even with all the praise I gave her, her moving to a real gym in the United States has definitely made her better at Fusion XL. But yeah, it's not worth trusting still. But Canejo is just not good. She's just not good. I'm surprised she's still in the UFC. I thought she was cut by now, but yeah, I think Alice Ardaline is just gonna bully her. Kellen Vieira versus Norma Dumont. Another fight where it's like, ugh, I don't know. I am going to go with Dumont. I'm going to think she's going to win by decision. But this fight reminds me of like the Yana Santos, or I guess Yana Kunitskaya versus Ketlin Vieira fight. Where it's like, I think Norma's going to win is that Ketlin's going to have like minute winning moments and then Norma steals it. Just like how Kunitskaya like stole it after like 20 seconds of a round. I mean, Macy Chasson in round 3 stole it like last second from Kellen Vieira. Like in a round 3, and it's like Kellen Vieira is lucky she won rounds 1 and 2 as clear as she did because she would have lost that fight. So I mean, Kellen Vieira is not to be trusted. She's not to be trusted. I can't stand her because she could be so good. She could easily be the champion in this weight class, but she just can't put it together. It's so annoying. But like that being said, like Kellen's probably live to win this if I'm being honest. I do think like the more damaging moments is more likely to come from Norma Dumont. I like the 6 strike bet because Kellen Vieira not necessarily the highest volume kind of girl. I could see Norma maybe try and do something similar to how she did Aldana, where she just dabbing in, like moving as much as possible and just putting up all that volume on Ketlin. I think it's very possible. Although at the same time, I can't unsee like a possibility of Ketlin Vieira kind of just holding Norma Dumont against the fence a bunch. I don't like that. I get the EBGBs from it. So I'm personally passing on this one. I'm not crazy about it. I do think Norma does pull through. I don't like Ketlin. You can't trust her. I mean, I don't even know if she's gonna make weight. If she misses weight a bunch, who knows? Yeah, I lean Norma, but just pass for me. Dante Johnson versus Cedricus Dumas. I'm gonna ride on my guy. Cedricus Dumas. I know it feels crazy. The Hood Wolf won't die. Don't let him die. He's gonna go last here in the UFC forever. Just kidding. I understand the Dante Johnson love. I get it. But here's some things to consider. He's only really been fighting heavyweights. I know he had one light heavyweight fight. Like, I think it was this one. I know he had a light heavyweight fight, but this is his first time in middleweight. I know he looks good in shape. I know that, so I'm not super worried about like the weight cut or what for that. But it does matter. It's his first time in middleweight. Um, who knows how the weight cut's gonna go? What happens if he gets extended? I'm at middleweight too. Like we don't know what happens if he gets wrestled. We don't really know. This is not a heavyweight he's fighting. Like this is a middleweight. It's a completely different atmosphere, in my opinion. Yes, the UFC is probably trying to get Dante Johnson to get a KO round one. I get it. It's just like I'm not asking you like, oh yeah, 5 units on Dumas. Hell no. I'm not doing that at all. Very small bet on Dumas for me, but man, he's live. He's not like a terrible. I thought he was looking pretty good against Zachary's before the nut shot. Dumas, I think, is live to win this. I think the head kick he has is live to hit Dante Johnson here. It's the same sort of body type. Dante kind of just comes in. He could get countered. I worry because Dumas doesn't like take shots well enough. It's like he just hates getting hit. But I mean, Dumas's career is definitely on the line here. He needs this win bad. He's got the more experience. I think that matters here. I think the odds are wide. So I'm going to be playing Dumas small. So I'll live with myself if Dumas loses. It is what it is. I'm always Team Hood Wolf. The funniest interview in the world. Always love listening to some Dumas interviews. Never go away. I really want him to win. So the meme never dies. So yeah, give me Dumas. I think he honestly is live to win. Timmy Kawamba versus Chang Lee. I'm not high on either of these guys, but I'm gonna lean Kawamba. I'm gonna go with decision. I think Lee's tough enough for it. This is Kawamba's first time at 135. I think he looks good. I need to see the weigh-ins first to even like consider like a bet, honestly, on Kawamba. But like if I get underdog odds on Kawamba, I'll probably take a small shot on him. But like this Chang Lee guy, I don't think he's that good, to be honest. Yes, he pushes a good pace. I know he's Korean Khabib, but I think Timmy Kawamba's anti-wrestling is going to be good enough to just get him off, shuck him off him, and just land the better shots. Like, the Romeus fight had some, like, pretty bad looks, in my opinion, for Chang Lee. Like, I was on Romeus there. I didn't really go super crazy with it. Like, I'm not high on this Chang Lee guy. I thought Long Zhao should have won against this guy. And Long Zhao's a really good fighter. I'm not gonna shame him for that, but it's not like this guy doesn't lose, in my opinion. Like it's not close fights, and I think this could be. I worry about the cardio of Kawamba, but I think he's gonna light up Chang Lee on the feet, and as long as his cardio stays true, he should be just fine. So I'm gonna go Timmy Kawamba. I think he wins the decision. He's probably live to get a finish as well, because Chang Lee's pretty hittable, but I'm going to go with him not getting robbed by Chang Lee. Not getting Khabib'd. Kevin Christian versus Billy Alicana. This is the fight. This is the fight where I'm basing my whole card off of. Billy Alicana. I'm going to go round 2 KO. Because Kevin Christian's never went to a decision. Wouldn't be shocked if he goes to decision, but just saying. I think Alicana should absolutely run through Kevin Christian. Kevin Christian is bad. He's bad. Alicano is not anything special himself, but I think there's levels to like how bad we're talking. He did all right on short notice against Guskov, and that's short notice. You can't blame him too much for that. And then Aslan, he fought his fight, and Aslan didn't adjust. Not the best of looks, but this dude, Kevin Christian, is next level bad, like I said. I think Kevin Christian's probably meme bonk or triangle or bust. Like, I think that's about it. I'm actually curious because I want to check the line on like fight ends by KO. I don't think I'm gonna bet it, but I'm just curious after thinking about it. Like, fight ends by KO. What is the line on that? What is that? Because I can see a world where he just swings and just dies. -105. Yeah. Wish it was a little better than that, but it makes sense to me. Um, yeah, I think Elikana is just he's probably gonna keep himself safe on the ground. The takedowns will be there all day, every day. He's not gonna have to worry about them. He's just have to worry about a triangle, and as long as he matches his P's and Q's, takes care of his cardio, which he'll probably be fine with because he fights a sparring face every fight. He should be fine. He honestly should be fine. There's like the only read I'm like, yeah, I think I'm pretty confident he's got this in the bag. Give me Billy Adekana. I like him here. So yeah, give me him to win this fight. And if he wins, positive card. If he doesn't, negative card. Or I mean, depending on the underdogs I hit. But yeah, let's go Billy Adekana. Alan Nascimento versus Cody Durden. Give me Nascimento by sub. I think Durden just puts himself into bad situations. I'm not crazy about the short notice either. The 130-pound catch weight probably helps both guys because it's a hard weight cut for Nascimento, and Durden's on short notice, so not hurting anyone, I think. But Durden puts himself into bad situations with like the wrestling, and I think Nascimento could probably like find a way to take the back and get a submission. So that's what I'm leaning. I'm out of curiosity, what is Nascimento 1-2? Because I can see that being something I'd be possibly interested in playing. There's no odds on it. Sub or that I might be interested in playing, but it depends on the odds. It needs to be plus money. It needs to be like something all right. If not, I'm willing to like pass and live. But yeah, I think Nascimento should win this fight and be fine. I think Nascimento's a really good fighter. Charles Radke versus Daniel Frunza. There are two fights on this card that I hate picking. It's this one and another fight we'll get into later. I'm gonna go Frunza. But like I would not be shocked if Radke wins. If Radke fights smart, he should win this pretty easily because he can wrestle Frunza all day, every day. But I'm going against his fight IQ. I think he's dumb and he's gonna swing with Frunza. And unlike Reese McKee, who's super long and lengthy and throws straight punches, Radke, not as long and lengthy, throws hooks all the time. And I think Frunza's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Frunza's a super durable guy. You see him get dropped every fight, but man, I don't know how he doesn't die. I don't know how he didn't die in the Reese McKee fight. And in that fight, he was like surviving to the point where it's like, he might even like finish, get the Reese later in the fight. But his lips was messed up, so because of Reese McKee's damage. So that fight ended, but he probably would have kept fighting. This dude's kind of ridiculously durable, despite the fact that he gets dropped. So I mean, I can just see a world where Radke, like that. I was thinking like to myself, if I pick Radke, just he gets dropped twice and he puts Radke out cold. Like I can just so see that, and that's kind of what I lean happening. Yes, I know Radke has like really good left hook, but I think Frunza will probably be fine with it and take it like a man. So yeah, I'm going Frunza. I think he's gonna put it on Radke. If Radke's smart, he's gonna wrestle. He'll win easily, but who knows with that. Next fight up the card: Isaac Dalgarian versus Yadir Daval. Yadir, my bad. Daval. The Cuban problem. I'm gonna go Dalgarian. I'm gonna go decision. I think Daval will be tough enough to make it to a decision. But I think the wrestling is just gonna be too much. It's gonna be too much for Daval. I am considering like actually making like a play on Dalgarian. Although, what's the odds on that now? Minus 240. I don't hate it. I think Dalgarian's learned from the C-Rod fight. Maintain cardio on him, you'll be fine. I think he's learned his lesson, and I think he'll be just fine here. Daval's too willing to go for submission attempts, and I think that's just going to be to a detriment here against Isaac Dalgarian, who's just such a good wrestler. He's so nasty with the ground and pound. I think it's going to damage Daval to the point where it's like, I mean, what can you do? He's probably going to be gassed himself. So yeah, I like Dalgarian here. I am considering putting at least something on him, but I'm not sure. I think the decision prop is an interesting look. I think the money line is probably fine as well. It's about where I would line it. So I lean on Isaac Dalgarian. I think he should win. Jeremiah Wells versus Temba Garimbo. Another fight. This is the other fight I was talking about where I just hate picking this one. I hate picking this fight with the passion because I know this reminds me of Renat Fakhretdinov versus Alexander Gustafsson, where it's like whatever I pick, the opposite is going to happen. Although I did pick Renat Fakhretdinov round 1 KO. I'm just going to say that. But I'm going to go to Garimbo decision. I think he's going to top time Wells. But, man, I can't act like I can't see a world where Wells just bonks Garimbo or gets a sub. It's so possible. I have zero trust for it. So I don't know. I lean Garimbo. Wells has looked awful as of late. He's looked awful. In these last 2 fights, Griffin, he looked bad in my opinion. He didn't look like himself at all. Carlston Harris, winning, sure, but gets subbed like for Carlston Harris last second. Like, this is not a good look. Semmelsberger, I didn't even think he won this fight, if you're asking me. Corey McKee, good KO, but that was like so long ago, 3 years ago. He's not looked like that same guy, so. But still, I don't doubt the fact that he could get a finish, so complete stay away from me. Complete stay away from me. No thanks. I'll take Garimbo, but man, I don't know. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Ante Liha. Good fight. I hope Ante sleeps him. I really do. And I'll pick it, but I think decision or KO is live, honestly. Actually, what are the odds on this? Odds on finish only Ante Liha. That'd be the only thing I'm like kind of interested in. I'm not sure there's odds on that right now. There's not. That'd be like the only thing I'm like any sort of interested in, because I'm not super worried about Waldo Cortez Acosta's power. He just throws nothing volume, and that's about it. I think Ante Liha has advantages in the wrestling. I think it's harder. I think he's going to be the one pressuring. I think all these things matter here. I think those will lead him to victory. But am I like that confident in him? No, I'm really not. So, yeah, I am going to Liha, but I'd only be really interested in him if it's like a finish only bet, and if that's like all right odds. If it's disgusting odds, just don't even bother. So, kind of a pass fight for me. I hope Waldo gets Shin though. Steve Garcia versus David Onama. This is a sick main event. I'm very, very excited for this fight. Tell you what though, I'm gonna go with David Onama. I know I'm a Steve Garcia doubter, kind of always been, to be honest. But I mean, I think this is a tough fight for him. I think Onama is just a better MMA fighter. He's better all around. I'm going KO round 2. I think he has got a grappling path here. I think he's got a striking path. Like, I think both those realms, Onama has a chance to take advantage of Garcia, in my opinion. I think Garcia is just defensively too liable to trust. Sure, he could bonk Onama, absolutely. Onama's never been KO'd, but he's been hurt a few times, so sure, it can happen. But I think the wrestling, I do think it's very live. He can get like something like a submission. Like, I think submission KO. I want KO because it's probably more likely, but the submission's absolutely live for Onama. I think he can finish Garcia like that. If Garcia fights crazy, this fight is going to go inside the distance. If he doesn't fight crazy, I'm not sure. Probably not going to fight crazy, to be honest, but never know. But I think Onama training with those guys like Bulgarian, Zalal every day, I think those are going to be good looks for him. I think he's getting better and better and better. I love how young he is. Like 30, I mean not young, but like he's still younger than Steve Garcia at 31 years of age. Still, and we are seeing improvements in this game. I know his last fight wasn't like the best look against not Giga, but against Roberto Romero wasn't necessarily the best look because he got dropped. But I mean, he's a tough guy to finish. So I think Steve Garcia is gonna have trouble finishing him, and I lean to the Onama side. So yeah, those are my picks of the card. Let's go through each and every one of them, going over 6 strikes and more takedown bets I like for each one. Shalita Alencar, Ariane Carnelossi. Takedowns, Alencar all day. I don't think Carnelossi is going for any 6 strikes. I guess I'll lean Carnelossi because if it plays out how I think it does, Carnelossi is going to be landing some towards the end of the fight. Sekyong Ko, Phil Rowe, more takedowns Ko. I'm pretty confident in that. I don't really see Phil Rowe going for any. 6 strikes, I think he can go either way. I guess I lean Rowe, but I'm not ultra enthused by it. Ruiz, Alice Hardelin. I think Ardeline more 6 strikes is probably pretty good, and I think Alice Ardeline more takedowns is very good. Like I think those will be completely safe. She should be fine. Kellen Vieira, Norma Dumont. More takedowns. I think Vieira. I think she's gonna be the only one really going for any of them. Then more 6 strikes. I would lean Dumont because I think she's gonna try and maybe do something similar to how she did Aldana, but not ultra confident in that. Dante Johnson, Cedric Dumas. If it goes how I think it does, more takedowns, more 6 strikes, Dumas is absolutely live. But if I will say, if you think round 1 KO Dante Johnson, which I know probably a lot of people, round 1 KO, just go round 1 KO. But yeah, I'm backing Dumas. I think he can get this done. I think he can get the 6 strikes and takedowns, but I'm not crazy about either of those. Timmy Kwamba, Chango Lee, more takedowns. Chango Lee, I don't really see why Kwamba would go for any. That'd be kind of crazy. More 6 strikes, Kwamba. I think he's gonna be landing the better strikes, so better, cleaner strikes. Kevin Christian, Billy Alicana, more takedowns. Alicana, more 6 strikes. End of story. I think those are pretty safe. Alan Nascimento, Cody Durden. I'd lean Cody Durden more takedowns, and I'd lean more 6 strikes. I'm not sure. I guess not Nascimento, but pass for me. I'm not too sure about that, but yep, I like Nascimento. I think he can find a sub, but Durden puts himself into that sub, so that's why I lean for him to get more takedowns. Radke, Frunza. I think Frunza more 6 strikes makes sense because I think he's just a wild guy. He's going to be throwing a bunch, although he's going to get hit by a bunch, so there's that. Radke. I do think you kind of shoot on Radke, to be honest, but yeah, it's tough. And more takedowns, Radke, though. Easy, all day, every day. I don't see why Frunza will ever go for a takedown, too. Yep. Delgarian, Delval. More takedowns, Isaac Delgarian. Probably more 6 strikes to Isaac Delgarian, too, because he'll be landing some good, significant strikes up top. Jeremiah Wells, Temple Garimbo. More takedowns, Garimbo for sure. I mean, no, not for sure, but I lean that way. More 6 strikes. I'm honestly, genuinely not sure. I'm genuinely not sure. Pass for me. I guess I lean Garimbo, but I don't know. And then more 6 strikes, more takedown. More 6 strikes, probably Waldo, because he's going to be punch, and get away. More takedowns to Lee Hawk, because I think he's actually going to possibly go to his wrestling game. So there's that. And then the main event, more 6 strikes. I think you can go either way. But more takedowns, I like Onama. I think he's the more well-rounded guy, and I think he's going to be more willing to go for takedowns. So, yep. Those are my picks. Thank you all so much for watching. You can check me out at Bet Me Out Tips, Champ Bets, and yeah, you can check me out here on YouTube as well. Make sure to leave a like, follow, subscribe, by all means. Yeah, fun card, gonna be exciting, and very excited for the next week's card. I don't think it's as good as this one, especially like fight wise, but should be a good one as well. So yeah, I'll see you all then. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.